didn't know if I was going to get through it. I didn't know if I'll ever be okay. But I looked in the mirror every day and I told myself, you know, I'm going to get through this. I'm going to be okay.
You get dressed up, you take hours. Baby girl, you know you can do whatever, you got power.
We ended up at the abortion clinic in Chicago on March 17th, 2017. And it was like 8 o'clock in the morning. And when they called my name and I went back, they did like blood tests and stuff. They did an ultrasound. This was now my second one. And I had never seen like the screen. I seen the screen and she was like, the lady asked me, she said, do you want a picture? And she asked me, did I want a picture? And I said yes. And she gave me a picture. I literally couldn't stop crying. She sat me down in the room. She was just telling me all this stuff. I don't even know what she was saying. My mind was so lost. And she was like, okay, when you're ready to take the pill, you know, just let me know. And she just sat there and I could not stop crying. I was shaking, I was crying, I was scared. And the lady, she was like, you know, this is your decision. Like, you don't have to do this if you don't want to. And she just like hugged me. And I'm so grateful for her because I didn't even know this lady. And she literally hugged me for like 10 minutes. And I was just crying. And then I ended up taking a pill and I got super sick. That was like just a whole nother disaster on its own. I left Chicago and I went back to school. And once I went back to school, I was super sick. And they gave me like all of these pills to take. And one pill like made me super sleepy. I had got so depressed and I was so sad to the point where I didn't think I should be on this earth no more. Like, I stopped going to class, I stopped dancing, I stopped talking to my friends, I stopped being around everybody. And one day I was just like, enough is enough. Like, I didn't know what to do. I felt like I couldn't talk to nobody. I'm not so good with like expressing my feelings, so I just felt like one day enough is enough, and I felt like if my child was not on this earth, I didn't deserve to be either. And I was in my dorm room, and I don't know where my roommate was at, but I seen a bottle of pills that the doctors had gave me, and I just was like, I don't want to be here. Like, I don't want to do this. I don't want to feel like this, and I don't know if this feeling is gonna ever go away. And I was just ready to give up, and I just took the whole rest of the pills that I had left, and I just laid down, and I was just like, you know, this is it. So I ended up waking up like the next day, but at night, and I had missed a final. My grades changed dramatically, and I ended up passing my classes by the grace of God that semester. I had so many missed calls and text messages, and I just woke up and I looked at the date, and everybody texted me saying, everybody calling me. Just got out my bed, fell to the floor. I literally fell to the floor, and I just said, God, please help me. Please help me. Please help me. And I just kept saying that over and over and over again. And I just cried. Like, I cried for so long. Then I looked in the mirror. I got up and I looked in the mirror and I told myself, I said, you're going to be okay. Like, all right, y'all, let me get together. Like, thinking back to that moment where I didn't want to be on this earth and I felt like everything was too heavy. I never want anyone to feel like that, because I know how hard it was for me to get back up from a situation that I never knew or thought I would get back up from. So I never want nobody to feel like that. It took me a long time, and I'm still fighting through it every day, but it took me a long time to be able to get to this point to where I can just talk about it. And of course I'm gonna cry because it was a major, major life-changing experience. It took a lot for me to get to this point where I am now. But I know I still got growing to do, and I know that God is always by my side. One main thing that helped me, and I swear, the day that I meet this woman, I'm going to thank her because she literally changed my life. After the whole incident is when I started getting closer to God, and I just prayed all the time. And I just ran into, I think I was on Facebook or something one day, and I ended up seeing Sarah Jakes Roberts speak, and she was giving a sermon, and I just seen her, and everything she said resonated with me, and I just started crying, and I was like, she is amazing. This woman is amazing. And ever since then, I listen to her sermons. I go on YouTube, and it's crazy because she's doing a conference, and she's going to be in Chicago and Indianapolis, but now I live in Las Vegas. So, I'm going to see her one day. But she changed my life so much in 2017, and I still listen to her today. She is amazing. So if you haven't had a chance to listen to Sarah Jakes Roberts, I really suggest that y'all go check out some of her sermons, and also Janae Aiko's song Promises. I just sung that song so much, and I would just cry and just tell myself I'm gonna be okay, I'm gonna be all right. And God got me. My child was due October 26th, which is the day before my mom's birthday. And I remember on October 26, 2017, I fell right back down. Like, I got so depressed, and I was just hurting. I cried so much. And in between that time period, I was crying and stuff, but I was still trying to build myself back up. But once that day came, I just felt that I was right back in that one moment. So I got a journal. And matter of fact, I'm gonna show y'all my journal. I got this journal, and I literally just wrote to God on that day, October 26, 2017. I wrote down all my thoughts and everything, and I finished this book on January 2nd, 2018. That was my last page, and then I started a new one. And in this one, I did the same thing. Just wrote everything down, wrote how I was feeling, good or bad. And those journals saved me. Even when I had days where I was falling back into me being sad and depressed, even when I had those days, I would write. I would write so much, and I took those everywhere with me to class. Looking back, that one situation helped really mold me into who I am today, because now I'm able to share an experience with other girls that I know probably have felt the same way or went through the same thing. It was super hard. And if anybody ever went through something traumatic, you know that you're not going to grow overnight. It's going to take constant dedication and constant work. So that's what I had to do to become who I am. So from this situation, I just really felt like I had to learn to live with who I am and who I know I am, rather than what people may think, or the perceptions or the doubts that people have on themselves that they try to put onto me. So I just had to be okay with being me, and I had to learn who I was. So I can't judge anyone or be mad at nobody for the way that they think or the things that they believe, because we do those things based off what we've seen. After generation after generation after generation, nobody is breaking that cycle. It's going to just keep continuing to occur, which is when we get generational curses. We don't learn and teach our kids better. So I just know that I want my kids to know better. I want my kids to know that no generational curse is ever going to touch them, because what I went through, it was enough for me, and I'm not gonna let that touch my kids or their kids. The hardest thing about this, the hardest thing about everything that I went through was having a battle with myself. That's the hardest thing as people, as individuals, that we go through, is knowing, looking in the mirror and telling yourself, I'm not this, I'm not that. And I know that I'm a great person, and I know that I'll get through this. So that was my main thing. I didn't know if I was going to get through it. I didn't know if I'll ever be okay. But I looked in the mirror every day and I told myself, I'm going to get through this. I'm going to be okay. Rather, what I was really thinking at that moment, I still told myself those things. So it's important to not listen to others, no matter how highly you may think of them. Make that decision based off you knowing that you are okay with living with the decisions that you make. I can't get up and walk away from myself. I can't get up and say, you know what, I'm done with this conversation. No, I gotta look myself in the mirror every single day. And that's why I did that. That decision don't define who you are. You got the power to change that situation around. You got the power to change your life around, to change your mind. And I'm not saying it's easy, because I've been there. I've been in that place. And it's the hardest thing to ever have to do. But at the end of the day, you got the decision to change the way you see it. You can see it as something bad, or you can see it as a moment to make yourself better. It's hard, but it's so worth it. I want to just leave y'all with this. Even if you a 19-year-old girl in a college dorm who just found out you're pregnant, or a 70-year-old billionaire, every day, each and every day that God give us to wake up every morning, it's a chance to grow. It's a chance to be a better version of yourself. So yeah, I'm not here to make a decision or a choice for anybody else. I'm not here to judge anybody. I just really wanted to share my experience and hope that it helps somebody else. Just know that I'm not the first person to go through this, and I know I won't be the last. I just pray that I am able to help another person. 3 years ago this month, I was in a very hard place in my life, and I'm not saying I'm perfect right now, but I'm saying that I'm better. And that experience actually pushed me. It drove me to be who I am today. Don't let the situation define you. Just wake up every day and be willing to get better, be better, do whatever you need to do. Whatever you need to do. Crying, being around friends. I started dancing again. I started going to class. Like, whatever you need to do. Do not lock yourself in a room because of a decision or of a life experience. Get through it and be the best version of yourself. And I want to say thank y'all so much for watching this video. This is literally the most personal thing that I've ever shared, and it's the hardest thing that I ever went through. And I just hope that whoever watching this video, you take something away from it and just know that you're not alone and that it's gonna get better. And I just want to say thank y'all. If you are not subscribed to my channel, make sure you click that subscribe button down below and hit the notifications bell next to it so you never miss a video. I want to thank y'all for listening. So I was super like just not knowing what was going on, because I still didn't want to believe it. So I really went through a phase where I wasn't sure if I wanted to tell this story, because I didn't want nobody to be upset at me or mad at me. But I realized this is my life, it's my story to tell, and I just want to use it to help people. I just pray every single day. I prayed every single day. So I actually need a new one because I finished writing on my last page. So I wrote on some paper. One of my best friends was there, and she was very helpful. She was such a supportive friend, as I felt like everything was just taking over. So to release that, I started to write. And I also started making voice memos on my phone. I literally, no matter how you feel at that moment, it's going to get better. It's going to get better. Just stick it out.